Go check on the chilies. Is it too hot, my boy? What an absolutely glorious day we're having today. Beautiful sunshine and blue skies, no rain. At the moment, I think it's about 27, 28 degrees Celsius, but later in the week, I think it's getting over 30. We just got back from a motorbike trip to Europe, and there we definitely hit over 30. It was about 34 degrees, 35 degrees for a few days. And when you're riding with full motorbike gear, that's extremely hot. But what a wonderful trip, and it was great to get away for a bit. But it was also nice to get home and check in on the chili plants. Something I've noticed while monitoring the temperatures in my greenhouses is that microchump, so this greenhouse here, which is my newest one, it seems to be quite a bit cooler than the other greenhouses. And I think I mentioned this before. And looking at the evidence over the last 4 or 5 weeks, that is definitely the case. I think part of the reason is because of these windows. You see these auto vents. So those are little pistons that are connected to the windows there that are filled with beeswax, and as they heat up they expand and then open up the windows. Look how wide open those are, and that's from about 8:30 in the morning. Whereas you go and have a look at Big Chump and look at those vents over there. Even at the moment they're not as wide. I mean that one there is a little wider than the others, but they're not fully open. And in the morning they're barely open, and a couple of them aren't open at all. I think that again goes to the quality of the specific greenhouse, or those vents at least. But you can see like that one up there is not even open. It should be open because in here, well, you can see those plants are cooking a little bit. But if we have a look, I don't know if you can actually see that, that's 39 degrees Celsius inside here. I have opened up some vents down the bottom to allow the air to come in so we have some more flow. But I mean, listen, 40 degrees Celsius isn't going to kill these plants, but you can definitely see them drooping a little bit. So I'm probably going to give them a bit of a water. This one here is looking really sad. It's still got water in from yesterday, but this heat is hectic. So I'll probably open up a few more of these vents. In fact, let's open one up right now. Let a bit more air in so it'll circulate cooler air through here. But you can see I have a few open anyway. So we'll go around and take a look at some of these plants in a bit. If you have a look at Little Chump, we have, well, the vents are open a bit more consistently. Again, this is a Rhino greenhouse. The smaller one, the first one we had a look at, that was also a Rhino greenhouse, and they tend to ship with much better quality components. And you can see these are pretty consistent. But even so, they don't open as soon as the ones in Microchump. So I can see it from our bedroom, and I look out here in the morning and just check on the greenhouses and see how they're doing. It's normally a good indication of whether the temperatures are good for that morning or not. And yeah, these vents are not open as quickly as the other ones. That's better. So what I've actually just done, I realized I had these out on the higher settings. So basically you can adjust this nut over here and it will slide back and forth on there, and that'll decide how wide open these go and how soon they open as well. So we'll see how much of a difference that makes, and I'll let you know obviously in the next garden update video. We'll see if we can get the temperatures to be the same consistently throughout the different grow spaces. The plants in here are definitely smaller than the same plants that I have in a little bit bigger greenhouse than this. It's also the Rhino. This here is my CC Jigsaw Brain. So this is the Chili Chump Jigsaw Brain. This is one of my own creations. And it's a super hot, and you can see it's one of my earliest fruiting. Well, it's definitely the earliest fruiting super hot that I have, and it is ripening up there. But we've got a few on there. That there's, yeah, it's about the height of my hand. This here is a KS Lingria, if I am remembering correctly. It is indeed. This is a Kangstar Lingria, and I actually had one of my followers on Facebook send me some photos of theirs doing the same thing. It's got these little spikes going on, little points, which is very cool. You can see loads of fruit coming through there. Another KS variety is here, KS Starling. So this is also being very productive. Smaller plant, there's a couple that are ripening up. Actually, there is a ripe one. Lovely little thing, just there, beautiful red. And over here, I think this is also a super hot. I can look at some of these pods coming through. That is a Butcholokia mustard. keen on seeing how that develops, but they've got some early fruiting happening as well. That's what the point of these smaller pots are. It's to help earlier fruiting, especially when you are expecting the season not to be as good as you'd kind of hope. I'm covering all bases. Obviously, I've got some big plants as well, but these here ensure I'm going to get a harvest at least. These are my Etsy eBay varieties, and I'll go through those in another video. I'll be filming a little bit later on. I have started feeding now, a very light feed. I wasn't two minds of whether I should start feeding now because the season has been quite slow. I'll start working towards a full feed in maybe 3 or 4 weeks. Wow, it is warm. I absolutely love it, but when you're spending any time inside the greenhouse, it's like a sauna in there. But yeah, I mustn't complain because I'd much rather this than cold, especially at this time of year. So notice the difference there? Wow, some big fruit. Let's see what that is. It is a Diablo. Look at that thing, it's huge. It's a beast. There's a few coming through there. That's better. CC Jigsaw. So this, by the way, is Seedsio. If you haven't yet tried it, give it a go. It is very handy to keep track of your plants and monitor them. So I've got a few in Big Chump, got some in Poly Chump, and Little Chump L1. So L1 Jigsaw Brain, that is 272. I basically section off each part of the greenhouse. So L1 is left 1, left 2, right 1. Makes it easier for me to find the plants when I'm looking for them. Where's 272? Here we go. This is it. So these were all planted at exactly the same time. And this here, see the height difference? So I'd say it's about that much higher, about 2 inches. If we go to Big Chump, I'll show you exactly the same plant again, and we'll see how that one is going to be much bigger and most likely not going to have any pods on it. But you can see loads and loads of flowers beginning over there as well. This is going to be laden. In fact, let's go have a look in Big Chump and look for a CC Jigsaw Brain and do a comparison. Again, we'll have a look at Seedsio because I have the search up anyway. Jigsaw Brain, so we have in Big Chump L2, so left side 2. This one obviously I've sectioned off a little bit more, so we've got L1, L2, L3, L4, because obviously it's a bit of a bigger greenhouse. But L2 is this section here. And what number are we looking for? We're looking for number 326. So 3s are green, so if we're looking for a green tag, and 326. There we go, 326. It's actually not much bigger than the one inside Little Chump. But you will notice this here definitely over the next month, especially with the warmer weather we're having now, as it starts to recover and take in more water, this here is going to grow much quicker and much bigger than the plant that's inside Little Chump and also obviously Micro Chump. Time now, it is 2:45 p.m. Make sure you stick around to the end and I'll show you how this plant does once we've given it a good watering. Monster plants are doing well, also needing a bit of water, but they are doing extremely well, and I've started supporting them in the middle there, but these branches also need some support, and we'll start stringing them up to the ceiling like I did last year. This is another Dorset Naga that definitely needs some water. See those leaves starting to curl up and go floppy, so they do need some water. In the last video, I asked you guys to guess what plant this was. So this is another potential future monster plant variety that I want to start growing instead of the Dorset Naga, just something a little different. I will still do the Dorset Naga because it's a lot of fun, and obviously I make some amazing hot sauce with it. But this here, it's actually working out better than I expected. So if any of you guessed the Malawan Picant or the Pepperdew, you were correct. You can see some coming through over here. And yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful plant. Look at the size of it. It is already bigger than the plant next to it. That there, I think, is 60-litre pot. That one there is 90. And the way these plants work, they try and spread their roots long before they start growing upwards, which is why you'll notice that there is a 160-litre pot. This plant is, yeah, possibly even a little bit bigger than that one, but I do know that that one will be much bigger than this. It's all down to the root system. I'll leave a link down below for a video where I explain this a bit more in detail. As I said with that makes some amazing sauce, my Dorset Naga, and a lot of you have tried it and have loved it, and I will be doing it again. But this here is amazing for pickled pepper dews, and you can buy those in the store, but making them yourselves is so much more rewarding, and man, they're delicious. And of course, seeds for it are going to be available in my store. We do have stock at the moment, but if you want stock from this year's harvest, then I'd wait probably another 2 months. I'll be restocking for quite a lot of my seeds. I'm just adding a schedule at the moment for my drippers to go for about 6 minutes. There we go, the drippers are going now. And the water's actually going to be quite warm because these pipes hold a bit of water. It'll soon go cold, and that'll help the plants out. I like to come and check every now and then when I am running the drippers, just to make sure everything is running okay. Also check for weeds, get rid of those little things. But yeah, we just make sure these drippers are running okay. I sometimes reposition them as well. I don't like them going in the same spot every time, so I'll move them around a little bit, just make sure there's no damper areas than others. Whether that helps or not, who knows, but I prefer doing that. The polytunnel gets probably the warmest out of all of my grow spaces, and it gets there very, very quickly if I look at the graphs. That's why I have this wide open with the doors, both sides fully open. I have vents on the side all open as well. I made one big mistake when I went on holiday recently. So this timer here, I had switched it on to constant before I left, just to test that the pump was working okay. And I forgot to turn it back to timer. So these plants suffered a little bit, but I have fixed that. Obviously it's been going now for a few days, and they are responding well. Those two over there, I don't think there's much hope. I'm going to leave them in there for now, but the others, I'm sure these will catch up quite quickly. I did put these in very late, which is why they're so much smaller than my other plants, but you'll see those things just blow up with growth. If you have a look at my soil plants, they are definitely growing nicely. They're bushing out beautifully, actually. This one here, they got attacked by ants. That's even recovering as well. It's not going to be a big plant, but I can't bring myself to pulling it out, so I'm just going to leave it be. I do love growing in soil. If I could grow outdoors directly in the soil, I would. I've run a few experiments, and unfortunately it just does not get the results you want. I actually have a CC jigsaw brain in here, number 162. That'll be a yellow tag because it starts with a 1. And well, it's right there. So that there is a CC jigsaw brain, and I also expect this to get rather large as it settles in. I'm sure the roots are bedding down nicely, but there you can see there's no fruit just yet. There's a few flowers starting out. It'll be interesting to see if this can compete with the plant in Big Chump, or even the one in Little Chump. That's looking pretty good at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on that as well in future videos. So this video, it's actually Monday at the moment, but the video will be going out on Friday, which means that tomorrow for you guys, I will be at the Dorset Chili Festival. If you are going to the Dorset Chili Festival, come over and say hi. I'll be wearing the Chili Chump t-shirt, and obviously you'll recognize this face. Come over and say hi. I'd love to meet you guys. And if we have weather like this, it's going to be absolutely glorious. 2 years ago, it was like this. It was amazing. A bit too much beer was drunk, but it was a lovely day out. Lovely to meet so many people. Last year it wasn't as warm, but still it was really nice. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Nice bit of a break down there and seeing what you guys are getting up to. I'll also be looking for some hot sauces to celebrate 200,000 subscribers. So I'm going to be doing a wings eating video. We'll have a few guests on, and I'm going to look for some hot sauces to use for that wings tasting event. And I'll be obviously looking at the Dorset Chili Festival because there are some amazing sauces there. So a lot of old friends that I'm going to see there. Look forward to seeing you guys, and new people as well. Please, as I said, come and say hello. I'm inviting you. Barney will be there as well, and Mrs. Chili Chump, so you can say hello to them as well, if Barney doesn't try and lick you to death. But yeah, looking forward to that. It'll be a nice end to this week because it's going to be a very busy week. I wanted to show you around my vegetable garden. I haven't actually showed you that for a little while. And that is because the weather has affected this part of the garden as well. In the last, well, 2-3 weeks, the weather has been fairly decent, which has resulted in some massive growth. Look at these tomato plants. They're so heavy at the moment. The wire is actually bending right down. This is actual wire. I tightened it up as much as I could. I also braced it in the middle against each other, because you can see the other side as well. Those are also tomato. Those are coming down too. And yeah, it's just, these plants are massively heavy. If you see here, that thing, yeah, it's huge. Both San Marzano 2s, and they're beautiful sauce tomato, and I'll be using them in a few of the sauces that I'll be making this year. The corn has grown so quickly. These are all sitting at around 6 feet high now, and they're just glorious. They've just shot up. Loads of corn coming through, and I'm looking forward to trying some. I haven't eaten anything off here just yet. We will be trying some in the next 2, maybe 3 weeks, I think. We're having a bit of a party over at our place, and definitely be pulling some of these off for that. Over here we have some broccoli, or is it cauliflower? I'm not sure. My mother-in-law actually got them from a friend of hers, and she planted them for us, so looking forward to seeing what they come out like, but they're doing really well in the soil. And over there, those are all beetroot that I started out just before we went away on the bike trip. I need to give them some water today because it is a very dry day. But beetroot, love them pickled. My sweet and fiery pickled beetroot. The recipe is in my recipe book, which is out again, by the way, the print version. And I have done a video on this as well. So if you want to follow that instead and you don't want to get the recipe book, then feel free to do that as well. But it is stunningly delicious. I love making it every year. It's such a great snack. Over here is our garlic and onion patch. So the garlic will be used in sauces, and they're nearly ready. We've got to just wait for these leaves to all go like that, and then the garlic should be ready. And over here we have our onions, and look at those. I'm so impressed with our onions this year. They are looking beautiful. Look at the size of them. I'm actually unsure of when to pick them. I believe it's the same as with garlic. You wait for these things to start dying off, and then they should be ready at that point. But if any of you know when I should be picking our onions, please let me know. I'd hate for them to go to waste. They're looking absolutely gorgeous, so please let me know in the comments. Also let me know how to pick them. Well, I know how to pick them, just pull them out, but I'm guessing you need to dry them for a bit, put them somewhere cool and dark. But yeah, let me know in the comments below, any of you people that are growing onions and know how to grow them and how to harvest them. I'd love to hear from you. And last but not least are our squashes. So these are gem squashes. These are a South African delicacy, as far as I know. I grew up eating them. I've got some small ones there. We've already picked a few. There's one down there. They just grow so quickly, but we'll have loads of those ready for our braai or barbecue that we're going to be having for our party. You can see a bunch down there as well, and they are just stunning. You halve them and put a little bit of butter in and put them on the grill. They are just stunning. I actually got a video on that too, so I'll link that down below in the description as well if you want to see how to cook gem squashes. It's been about 2 hours, so yeah, 16:35. It's been 2 hours since we watered, and already I can see the difference. Look at all these plants. They look like nothing ever happened. They've all been perfectly fine. Here is the number 326, the CC Jigsaw Brain, and that plant is looking absolutely gorgeous, perfect. Chili plants are so resilient, it's unbelievable. This is why I keep telling you how important the root system is. It's the most important thing to me. I think I mentioned it on the last garden update video as well. But making sure that you're potting up at the right time, potting up enough times to make sure that you get that root system massive. It really helps with situations like this. If those root systems were still small little balls and I hadn't got them to the size that they are now, when you water like this, they can't take up that water or nutrients if that was the case, but they can't take it up quick enough. But when there's a lot of roots there and a very big root system, then as you can see, 2 hours, fully recovered chili plants. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. And until then, stay spicy. Yeah! Oh my goodness! That's a big one!